Grand Theft Auto GTA is a series of action-adventure games created by David Jones and Mike Daly. Two later titles were developed under the oversight of brothers Dan and Sam Houser, Leslie Benzies, and Aaron Garbutt. It is primarily developed by British development house Rockstar North, formerly DMA Design, and published by its parent company, Rockstar Games. Today we will see the history of Grand Theft Auto GTA. 1997 Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is made up of 6 levels split between 3 main cities. Each locale is based on a real-life city in the United States, with an alternative name: Liberty City, New York City, San Andreas, San Francisco, and Vice City, Miami. The progression is linear, as each level completed automatically unlocks the next one in the chain. Players begin a game by choosing a character from among 8, for in the PlayStation version, and naming them, though the choice is purely aesthetic, and does not affect the overall gameplay. In each level, the player's ultimate objective is to reach a target number of points, which starts at $1 million but becomes higher in the later levels, and then reach the level's goal to complete the stage. The player is free to do whatever they want, but have limited lives upon doing so. 1999 Grand Theft Auto 2. Like its predecessor Grand Theft Auto, the game focuses on players completing a series of levels, each requiring a set target score being achieved in order to progress to the next stage. Points are awarded from various criminal actions such as destroying cars, selling vehicles, and completing missions for various crime syndicates, with the latter awarding more points than doing simple criminal actions. Creating chaos from their crimes will cause the player to be wanted by the police, who will hound the player to arrest or kill them, with higher wanted levels increasing the level of response used. Being arrested or dying loses the player any equipment they found, and impacts their multiplier bonus. 2001 Grand Theft Auto 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 is an action-adventure game played from a third-person perspective. Players complete missions, linear scenarios with set objectives, to progress through the story. It is possible to have several missions available at a time, as some missions require players to wait for further instructions or events. Outside of missions, players can freely roam the game's open world, and have the ability to complete optional side missions. Liberty City is composed of 3 boroughs: Portland, Staunton Island, and Shoreside Vale. The latter 2 areas become unlocked as the player progresses through the storyline. 2002 Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is an action-adventure game played from a third-person perspective. The player controls criminal Tommy Vercetti and completes missions, linear scenarios with set objectives, to progress through the story. It is possible to have several missions available at a time, as some missions require the player to wait for further instructions or events. Outside of missions, the player can freely roam the game's open world and has the ability to complete optional side missions. Composed of 2 main islands and several smaller areas, the world is much larger in area than earlier entries in the series. The islands are unlocked for the player as the story progresses. 2004 Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is an action-adventure game with role-playing and stealth elements. Structured similarly to the previous 2 games in the series, the core gameplay consists of elements of third-person shooter and driving games, affording the player a large open-world environment in which to move around. On foot, the player's character is capable of walking, running, sprinting, swimming, climbing, and jumping, as well as using weapons and various forms of hand-to-hand combat. The player can operate a variety of vehicles, including automobiles, buses, semis, boats, fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, trains, tanks, motorcycles, and bicycles. The player may import vehicles in addition to stealing them. 2008 Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4 is an action-adventure game played from a third-person perspective. Players complete missions, linear scenarios with set objectives, to progress through the story. It is possible to have several active missions running at one time, as some require players to wait for further instructions or events. Outside of missions, players can freely roam the game's open world and complete optional side missions. Composed of the fictional city of Liberty City, the world is larger in area than most earlier Grand Theft Auto series entries. At the beginning of the game, players can only explore the first island, composed of Dukes and Broker, with all other islands unlocking as the story progresses. 2013 Grand Theft Auto 5 Online. Developed in tandem with Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto Online was conceived as a separate experience to be played in a continually evolving world. Up to 30 players freely roam across a recreation of the single-player world and enter lobbies to complete jobs, story-driven competitive and cooperative modes. The content creator toolset lets players create their own parameters for custom jobs, like racetracks and deathmatch weapon spawn points. Players may band together in organized player teams called crews to complete jobs together. Rockstar Games' social club extends crews formed in Max Payne 3's multiplayer mode to that of Grand Theft Auto Online. Players can create their own crews and join up to 5 total. Crews also have a hierarchy. Crew leaders can change a member's role in said hierarchy. Crews win multiplayer matches to earn experience points and climb online leaderboards.